Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, it's the very afternoon to talk about gals can't be too kind to an otaku. This is the very last episode of this, and I'm gonna miss this show. And I hope that we get a season two. These episodes I've been covering is just so realistically to understand. I mean, you got a guy who's an otaku being an outcast, and I get his story because we have been there. He's an outcast. So Takia is an otaku, that 1% guy who's afraid to make friends. Then all of a sudden he made friends with two gals. One of them is a gal who secretly loves anime, and you got one who's best friends with her, and she's slowly getting into it. She's charming. So you got one who's an otaku, hidden ice mirror gal. You got the other one who's cheerful, bright, make friends type gals. Those are the type of things we have. So these episodes have showed us that gals can be kind to an otaku. They can be. With the right personalities and the right traits, it is. And I'm looking at Takia in Seiyo Takia, and he really is that guy. Like, he is the guy who could easily make friends with them. I mean, if you have the right person who loves into your show, it's like that. You know how rare to find, how rare it is in life that you sit in class and you're that guy who talks about this one anime, but then when you bring up this one anime, that one gal in the class is secretly love that same anime. You think about it. If you love this anime, try it on someone else who loves the anime and then see what happens. And then that one anime will make everything good. And throughout these episodes, we have seen them like a lot of foreshadowing. We have seen Seo talking to Ichiki and Imane. He's always bringing these bright smiles up to these two gals. Now we're going to this new arc. Now we're in this festival arc, and like all school festivals, there's always confessions. There's always cosplay meetups. Not meetups. I would call it more than cosplay meetups is a word. I will say cafes. Yeah, cafes. A little bit of running around school festivals and the fireworks. This is where the big fireworks comes in. And as for Takiya's sake, he's like, what do he want? Let's face it, in class, he may not be the most popular guy. He's just an otaku. And if there's one thing I learned from watching these episodes, is that otakus like us deserve respect. Otakus like us deserve romance. And otakus like us stand up on our own 2 feet, tell everybody in the world you love anime. You love this show, and for what? They're not gonna do nothing to you. You have to step up, and that's what we got here. Now, after last week's episode, where it's just like, who's he gonna end up with? This is where the big fireworks comes in this finale. So, without further ado, let's get right to it. With this very last episode review of Gals Can't Be Too Kind to an Otaku or Otagal. Okay, so you got Takia just looking at Mane and Ichiki's, going off. The whole Mr. and Mrs. pageant, who's the best of all, and they only go by the top 3. Seo, giving his last words to Ichiki and Imane, it just showed you that he's an outcast, because he's worried. Because remember, go back to last week, he's all crying and emotional. His heart hurts because he actually find kind. Like, he actually got friends with 2 gorgeous gals, and he's scared that if any one of the 2 is in a relationship with them, he will crumble. He will lose all sight of friendship to Ichiki and Imane, hands down. Now, the results of the competition, I am not surprised. In fact, I'm not even surprised that Ichiki's first and Imane is second. I'm not surprised. Anyone, you could flip both, it doesn't matter. But they won first and second place. And then you got the other guys. Then you have the male pageants, the male, they won. They did their top 3. But what hurts Takia is that he sees those 2 talking to the other guys. And because of that, he feels left out. He feels like he's not gonna find love. He's gonna let them have their way and all that stuff. But because that scene in the bathroom, him crying, it's like all the memories they had from the first time they meet all the way till now has been one fateful fate for this guy. Remember, this is a guy that never had friends to begin with. And ever since he met Ichiki and Imane, his life has changed. Let's look at this development in season 1. First of all, he didn't have friends. Ichiki was the first friend that he ever got. Then Imane came in, his second friend, and she's into the same anime that he's in. Oh, and then throughout these episodes, he developed like he developed a certain trait in terms of talking, making friends of his own, hanging out with Ichiki's brothers and her older brother, and hanging out with Imane and having Imane's little sister there. Not only that, he goes to their house and help, and they go to his house and all that, and he's all okay with that. I mean, they go to the beach, they go to the festivals. Everything Takia has done, he has stepped up to the plate. He has stepped up so many ways in this first season that he just showed us that as a representative to otakus, we have been in his shoes before. We have been there to a point where we're scared to talk to the girls. Like, hey, do you like anime? Do you like Naruto? Do you like this and that? You know, those kind of things. I mean, like, check it for me. From a guy who was in high school one time, and I was at 1% who talk about anime. And I was trying to figure out who I did talk to when it comes to Naruto, because that was at the time Naruto was my show. But still, finding that one female's into Naruto was very hard. Yeah, I made friends in high school, but not like they didn't get into anime. Like, I want to get someone into anime, much as the next one. We didn't get that. I didn't get that. And I was looking at I was like, Taki is one of many MCs this season who has that same trait as we did. Okay, now aside from that, I do like Imane's Ichiki's friend. That is the best friend. She's superb. This pervert of a female decides to put the shipping together, and as I told you, the Yuri is freaking strong. This showed you that there's a lot of Yuri going on in this. I mean, especially with those two. But she just liked to spice it up with the Yuri. I mean, especially, she had a lineup for Ichiki and Imane doing like, go to the fireworks. But this was the big question. Who was Takia going to hold hands with? So, Ichiki and Imane was looking for him, you know, being lonely or whatnot, you know. And Takia found both of them. I like what he did at the end when he actually told him like, why would you be friends with me? Why would you be friends with an otaku? Like, I get what he's saying. He's saying that him being otaku is low class. It's a low class thing. And when you look at the class that Ichiki and Imane has, they're on the top tier level. Like, they're on the high class and otaku class, but and I get why, because again, he has no class. He's not on the same level as popularity concerns, because if there's one thing we know is that otakus, nerds, they always get the low standards. They get picked on a lot because they watch those certain shows, and that's what Takia was feeling. The love that he has for those two, the friendship that he has for those two, he's losing it. Now when we talk now, Imane and Ichiki, their friendship is so good. They cheer him up. They admire what he has done, no matter what. They like him no matter what. I mean, Ichiki's presence around him sparks him up. Him with his presence with Imane sparks him up. They both have a friend who literally will help him out no matter what. And with the friendship they have for these friendship is so good. Like, they was holding hands. Each of them had their hands. Like, Imane was holding hands, Ichiki was holding hands. They were holding hands as they were not looking outside the fireworks because it's loud, but they were standing in the classroom because they didn't want to see it. Now, I do like how the ending went when he decided to go out nude, try out a new hairstyle, and then, you know, approaching, sitting down, act like someone didn't even notice. I mean, he trying to change his look, but he still is an otaku through and through. Now, here's the question you should be asking me: who do I think he should end up with? You know what? This is a hard question for me because I like both of them. There's not one thing I badmouth about Ichiki, and there's not one bad thing about Imane. Like, I love both of them. But if you were to ask me, hands to God, who do I think Takia should end up with? Me personally, by a centimeter of a fraction, I'm gonna say Imane. Look, nothing to throw shade at Ichiki, nothing throw away. I believe Ichiki is hotter than Nagatoro. You know, don't tell me Nagatoro. She's hotter than Nagatoro. I'll put her over Kitagawa, maybe somewhat. But, well, no, not over Kitagawa. That's kind of a far-fetched. But I'm looking at the reason I put Takia over Imane is because of this. Throughout, there are moments that, well, first of all, they both love Glittermon. That one anime brings them together. It's like I can see Imane and Ichiki. I can see Imane and Takia have a Glittermon wedding. I can see them having a wedding, an anime-themed Glittermon wedding. I can absolutely see that. And speaking of weddings, remember there was one episode where they foreshadowing where Imane's mother invited them to do like a magazine of them as the bride and the groom. So you know, like, this is some foreshadowing. They could be together. So I see that. But again, that one show bring them together, and in one of the chapters they go to anime conventions and whatnot. It's like I see that, and I see them together. Nothing but respect for each guy. I respect her. But if you would ask me, based on what I've seen from season 1, and who do I think he should end up with by a centimeter fraction, I will pick Imane because of the moments they have. Their love for the anime, they cheering together, they stayed up all night while Ichiki was sleeping, you know, watching it, and then the wedding thing they did. It's just so many things they have done. And not only that, the beach episode was that because, again, foreshadowing. Remember Sayu, the little girl Sayu, she's sleeping in the middle of the train, and you see Imane and Takia head turning together like they're a couple. See, those are hints. So that's what I said. If you would ask me right now who I know, I'll take Imane. But overall, though, this was a very, very good season. I mean, not only I'm gonna miss these three, but it makes me want to read it. And not only that, we also gonna miss it because of the opening. The opening still to this day is straight fire. Like, this is one opening you do not want to skip. You want to dance and you want to listen to these songs. If the lyrics is good, I'm not like those other girls, you know, those kind of things. Those things kind of hit me. But again, the opening for Otaku is fantastic. I think this should belong to like best opening sequence because this opening was such fire. It was nothing bad about it. I love it. Hopefully we'll get a season 2 because I want to see more about the family because they missed out on Ichiki's other brother, which I need to see, and other characters we have to see along the way. But again, it's really close. But I look forward, if season 2 ever come out, please do so. So thank you for watching my review of Otaku. I look forward for next week's episode. And not next week. I look forward for season 2 when I hope we promise to air it because misscon is definitely easy to get a season 2. So Otaku needs a second season. And if there's one thing I learned from season 1 is that otakus do get the gals. You just gotta be open. Open up, love your anime, express it, and pretty soon everyone, you're gonna find that one girl, one female, or one gal that's gonna like the same anime as you. Thank you for watching.